Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Ooh, the webcam's a bit off kilter there. Good evening, and welcome. Welcome to Tuesday evening. It's time for another photography art stream. I see the lurk there, Steph. Thank you for that. Be working tonight on the film that I developed this past weekend. If you caught me this past Saturday, there was some constant agitation. You got to see me develop film live, and if you didn't, well, there will be other opportunities, I'm sure. But we've got a mix tonight. We've got some cosplay, we've got some dead things, all of it on film. So that is the plan for this evening. So welcome on in. Just do some minor tweaking from the Artist Back Alley raid train now that I've moved my setup back into where it normally is. So, excuse me. But yes, we're doing the editing thing tonight. So, let's begin, shall we? Picking up where I left off with my Resident Evil cosplay here with my friend Ryan, aka Winged 41. Let's begin. Oh, I should probably, first and foremost, let's undo that. Change the image to RGB color so that I have the full range of editing options open to me. So these were all scanned, freshly scanned, to this afternoon, in fact, after the film finished drying, so... Make that a little darker. Hopefully everyone had a good weekend. They enjoyed themselves. And hopefully you are managing to hang in there with all of the government stupid that has been in the news. Maybe some of you are exercising a little self-care by beating up a Republican. Add some gradients here, make the piece a bit darker. Make it a little more moody. But this was on the roll that I developed live. And speaking of live, the model himself has graced us with his appearance. Good evening! Oh yeah, hey, that time you went a little berserk, you know, just you were out of your mind for a while, just took your brain off the hook for a little bit. No biggie. No biggie at all. So this is from the film. This was shot on Ilford Delta 100 speed film. That was the film I used for this. This is medium format. And we've got some dust and scratches on here that, despite my best efforts, whenever I scan a roll black and white, there's always a few that have to show up. Because I typically don't shoot in color. Not color film, anyway. So yes, let's dive in and get my friend the clone tool out.
When you love someone, you've got to trust them. There's no other way. You've got to give them the key to everything that's yours. Otherwise, what's the point?
Ooh, no, we don't. So let's... Do not want hard clone stamp. Just... seem to be like going against a mini boss. My character's just like, you'll never escape me. I have the power only to die later. So yeah. Video games middle management. Hello, little joke. I will be working and lurking. Not a problem. Thank you so much for stopping by. No. So we're currently working on... This is, some of the Resident Evil cosplay, the last cosplay shoot that I did. And this was shot on the roll of film that I developed on the Artist Back Alley raid train. hopefully everyone on that raid train was nice and agitated by the time I sent them off to Tubbo Possum. I actually, yes, all the constant agitation. Oh, so on Sunday, on the Sunday portion of Artist Back Alley, while Productive Dragon was doing her stint, I developed a second roll of film off stream because, you know, it's a thing. But I'll be editing some of those today as well. So we've got some cosplay and we have some dead things on the slate tonight. Ah, oh no. Let's see if I can call up my Dust and Scratches filter. Ooh. That's a little much. Okay, that's a little better. See if I can polish that up a bit more. That's at least a good basis to work with, because no matter how hard I try when I scan these things, when I scan my negatives, to try to make, you know, everything dust-free, a little snippet does have to get in once in a while. Despite all my efforts. Some of these are easy. Some of these we can just clone stamp out of existence. Others not so much. But this is still so preferable to what you'd have to do if this was a physical print. And that's a lot of stipple. And I hate stipple. My drawing classes were, the classes that I did the worst in. Good evening, Icarus. My darling. Welcome. You're editing some film. Starting off with a little cosplay, and then we'll move into some dead things. Okay. Oh, yep, missed a spot. Let's get that off his nose. Let's get some of these dust and scratches right off of his nose. That'd be a nice thing to do. Oh, there's a bunch on the face there. So let's see, can we get it all at a stretch? Most of them. I'm going slightly mad. I'm going slightly mad. It finally happened. It finally happened. Oh, yes. It finally happened. I'm slightly mad. All right. That takes care of just about all of the blatantly obvious ones. And good evening, Swez King. I also have to do that thing where it's like, is that... Excuse you. I have to do that thing where it's like, is that the image or is that my monitor covered in dust? Because sometimes it's like, why is this not going away? And then I realize, oh, it's my freaking monitor. So we had you, Ryan, with this. That was the glasses off. Then we had the glasses on version. Because apparently you needed to see and shit. So meddling both. That's better. Already, just by adjusting my curves, a much better image already. Now let's add a splash of contrast and, but not too much. I mean, you didn't have, at the time, you didn't have your zombie mask either. We'll get the corners. Alright, I was just like, wait a minute. There we go. And the better. Just like, I'm not evil. Oh, before I continue working on that one, I want to see a thing. Yeah. It's not going to do anything because there's no color in here. Duh. Ah, that's what I wanted. Not that, but those sliders. Beautiful. If we can just go completely nuts. Ooh, hello. Just some Resident Evil mad scientist. No biggie, no biggie. I actually like the almost sepia look. So we're going for Bowels of Hell or Biohacked? I mean, I mean, you know, it's up to you. Thank you, by the way, Winged. I did get the rest of your cash. Pleasure doing business with you. I actually like that. Hey, fancy the two of you meeting here. Oh, you silly people. It's not too bad. Ooh. Maybe that. Let's go. No, not that. That now we start approaching more of a Silent Hill look. And you know, it's not usually a good idea to get some mix your Silent Hill with Resident Evil. You could try to Photoshop Pyramid Head in it. No. I like that. I like that one as well. Version 3. Alright. Meanwhile, before the glasses come off, alright, dust and scratches time. So what I do with the medium format film when I scan it, so I have a flatbed scanner off to my left here that is meant for film and for artwork. It can scan at incredibly high resolution, and I scan all of my negatives at 2400 ppi to get all that nice, delicious detail. Wrong layer. Why didn't you do anything? Wrong layer. So I scanned it all at 2400. One, well, for several reasons. One, this is the size of the image. Like, hold on. If you've never seen what a medium format image looks like, gotta break out the gloves for this. Do not want to get fingerprints all over the negatives. Last thing I need. Hardest thing on the planet is to try to edit out a fingerprint on a negative. Water spots are tough enough, but negatives are just... Ugh. So, we have 4 images on each strip here, and just, that's the size of one of them. It's... Where did... Oh, she took the tape measure back, didn't she? Whatever. So it's about 2 inches by about 1 3/4, roughly. So when you scan a single one of these at 2400, it obviously makes it bigger, but it also captures all of that nice detail, which gives you a better file to work with. I save them as TIFF files. So you wind up with an 18, between a 17 and 20 megabyte image. Much higher if it was color. And at that resolution, you also wind up with a file size dimensionally. Like, I'll show you what the image size is. So native image size. Native image, okay, so it's 2 inches by 1.5. I scan it that big so that if I decide to print this or put it on, like, my Redbubble store, if I shrink it down to 300, which is the... Yes, I know, shut up. $300. I said. Oh, and I also want bicubic sharper. I don't know why it's not doing that, but whatever. I shrink it down to 300. I wind up with an 8x12 or an 8x10. Because it's always much easier going from large to small as opposed to small to large. Good evening, tiny dragon. With a song in her heart. comes in with song and puns. Tisk. Tisk. Comes into my stream and starts with the punnying. It is what you do. Oh, I think we did find. I think I do have a water spot. I think that's one of them. All right. So my Ilfotol did not get all of them, but we can fix that. Through some creative cloning. Like, yeah, that definitely looks like a water spot to me. Mm-hmm. Much easier to clone out a water spot than it is a fingerprint. Because every time I handle the film, I use these lint-free gloves. I give my film white glove treatment. Okay, I need to switch albums. This is going to put me to sleep. All right. How about... That's something with a little more punch to it. No, you're going to put me to sleep. Good alert, can finish the mad work until my shows are. I'm almost free! Alright, well, we'll be here. I ain't going anywhere for a while yet. There we go. Little Street Fighter. I see a little scratch there. Yeah, that didn't do a whole lot. Nope. Excuse me. Take care of that a little later. Have I ever heard of the Shenmue series? It did start on the Dreamcast. I have heard of it. I've never played it. Never owned a Dreamcast. Thank you. Never owned a Dreamcast. The only game I ever played that I ever wanted to play... Thank you. Thank you both. The only game I ever wanted to play on Dreamcast that I actually did get to was because I went to a friend's house, my neighbor, all the time as a kid, was Resident Evil Code Veronica. And then it got ported to... And then a much better version of it came out on PS2. And... If only I waited. But I was impatient. Round 1, fight! My terrible impersonation of the announcer from that game. When I was a kid, and I played this Street Fighter 2 with my stepbrother, I would always annoy the piss out of him because I hated the fact that he would always beat my ass in Mortal Kombat. So when we played this game, I'd always play as E Honda, and I'd always use the 100 hand slap. I just spam that move forever. It's like an unblockable move. Sometimes. I think Chun-Li has something similar, like the 100 kicks, where you just keep spamming the kick. It's like, oh yeah, Rob, you're gonna beat my ass in Mortal Kombat? Well, I'll get you here, you jerk. Hell am I going? Where's my select? There it is. My cousin and I just decided we were never going to play any combat games. We were in peace. May have been the smarter move in hindsight. Ooh, we've got a little red action here, which I think I like. I will keep that. Never played any of the Street Fighter games. Tekken 3 was my thing back in the day. I always used Jin because, yeah. No, growing up, for me, my fighting games of choice were always Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. More so Mortal Kombat. And then it was in college where I was introduced to Soul Calibur. But Mortal Kombat will always be, as far as fighting games go, Mortal Kombat will always be my first love. So I realized I haven't done any shameless self-promotion yet this stream. So again, if you're just joining me, my name is Eroivis on Twitch, but professionally I go by Brian J. French. I'm a professional photographer. And if you like what I do, you can find all the different places where my work is by typing in !art, which takes you to my card page, which is the link aggregate. It's got my thank you wink. It's got my Instagram, my website, Patreon, Redbubble shop, Vero, all of that fun stuff. I've recently, if you subscribe to my Patreon at the $5 a month level or higher, so basically for the same price as a Twitch subscription, I mail you every month a 4x6 physical print of an image of my choosing as a way to say thank you for supporting my art. And also new to my Redbubble shop, I have to show this off to people. If you saw this, if you were on the Artist Back Alley raid train, you saw this already. But my good friend Tiny Dragon on Fire designed for me a sketch which started off as a joke, but I loved it so much that I wanted to make merch out of it. It's the constant agitation, because it's what you do when you're developing film. So that is currently on my Redbubble store, so let me just bring it up. Constant agitation! And you can get that on t-shirts, you can get that on posters, prints, stickers, tote bags, whatever you like, it's there. Thank you for the shout-out, Winged. You beat me to it. Yes. Go, and also go follow Tiny Dragon. She streams once a week, usually Monday evenings, and it's a great place for wonderful, calm, chill vibes, nice, cute art, occasionally scary, murderous art, which I very much enjoy. But Tiny Dragon, if you aren't following her, do so. You'll be very glad you did. All right. With that wee bit of commerce taken care of. Very cute and sometimes murderous. Exactly. So yes, be sure to follow Tiny Dragon on Fire. She's a lovely, lovely person. Alright. I think we're good here. Let me go back to, let me just get rid of my selective color, and let's see if we can... Yeah, that's really not going to do a damn thing, because the image is already black and white to begin with. So... Oh no, but I like that more. Well, shit. I'll do a red version too. Oh, and if you are an artist on Artist Back Alley and you are watching me tonight, so I now have a new prop for the next time, for the next Artist Back Alley raid train. I said I was going to do this, and I didn't order it in time for the one that took place this past weekend. But for the next one, I now have a train conductor hat. Which I need to adorn with pins from the various artists of Artist Back Alley. And I don't know if one exists, but I would love to have an enamel pin of the Artist Back Alley logo, or the train GIF, if one. I would love to just put that right on my hat. The train whistle is on order. Just because I'm that type of theatrical nerd. So you're welcome. All right. So there we are. We've done those two. All right. Let's shift focus. Let's shift focus a little bit. Let's move to some dead things. Which dead thing? Oh, well, I'll get to that in a moment. Let's do this one. So this actually came off the role that I developed on Sunday, off stream. So I discovered, like a week or two ago, that there is a cemetery about 5 minutes away from where I live that is a historical cemetery, and it's still in active use. And it dates back to about 1790. There's a couple of graves in there I saw from 1792, and it contains the graves of about 20 or so Revolutionary War soldiers. That, local. So I thought that was pretty cool, so I went to scope it out. Like choo-choo, mother cluck. So this is one such headstone from that cemetery. It's called the East Line Union Cemetery, because it's off of East Line Road in Malta, New York. So yep, dates back to about 1790, and it is still in active use today. I find that the oldest cemeteries in New York State, you would have to go further south of that. So I live about 3 hours north of New York City, and the oldest ones you'd find in the Hudson Valley, New York City, and Long Island. I've edited some images from cemeteries in Long Island. Some of you might recall that I developed images from the oldest colonial cemetery in New York State. It was the Puritan Cemetery on Long Island. Like, I didn't know New York had Puritans, but we did. They weren't as famous as the Massachusetts ones, though, apparently. Speaking of Chun-Li's theme, the less famous the Puritan, the less likely I'm just like. So do not go to basically any cemetery in Plymouth, Boston. Mostly Plymouth. I need to go back to Plymouth and do a reshoot of some of those cemeteries, because when I went there, I was doing an experiment. I had infrared film. I had 35 millimeter infrared film. And that was not a really successful experiment. I discovered that infrared film only really works best in super bright sunny days. It's great for landscape photography, not so much headstones. A little too much black. There's this one headstone in this East Line cemetery, just one, that is completely overgrown. It's the one, obviously, I'm working on. Overgrown with vines and vegetation, pine cones. It's the only one in the cemetery that is overgrown, which I just thought that was weird, because every other one, as the surrounding area is, pretty well taken care of, but I don't know what was so special or not special about this one, where it was just left to... It was left for nature. If you guys have anything you have been working on art-wise, feel free to drop links into the chat, obviously provided that they're safe for Twitch, so Let me start that again. I think that gradient's a little too much. Yeah, 75%. Let's lower that to 50. That's a little... Need a hat for your Wawa Bear friend. All right, let's have a look-see. Oh, that is adorable. That is so cute. That is wonderful. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm just... Like, Tiny Dragon has a channel point redemption on her stream, which is called Add a Hat. And she will add a hat to whatever she's drawing. And it can either be super sickeningly cute, or just makes hats up, of course. How did I know that was coming? Fine. Fine. You want hat? You'll get hat. You asked for it. There. we'll do my Ren Fair hat. Speaking of, Ren Fair season is approaching. I'm going to my first Renaissance Fair of the year in a little less than 2 weeks. This time you put a hat on a horse. Let's see. Ooh, tuxedo mask horse. Just that would put Sailor Moon in an entirely questionable new light. As if Tuxedo Mask would. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, I was laughing so hard at the horse that I did not see J. Renzella, although now you have made your presence known. Thank you for the resub. Thank you for the resub, good sir. Oh. So, in case you are just joining me, I am editing the film that I developed on last weekend's Artist Back Alley Raid Train, so the agitation has already happened, so now this is the after. This is the result. So we've done there was some cosplay on that roll, so we did some Resident Evil stuff, and now I'm working on some cemetery stuff. Some assorted dead things. Ooh, photography fact. All right. Let's pull up my list o' facts. Okay. Here is a... Oh, and you hit the kazoo as well. All right. No, I'm not going to wrap up with a... No, I'm not going to do that. Look at the color of my skin. I cannot rap to save my life. I'm not going to... Let's leave the rap to the professionals. You don't want me rapping. But the kazoo, which has not been used in months, is now going to get a warm-up. But first, the photography fact. So this is for Suez King. Okay, so your fact is... Some of the most popular subjects of photography in the 1800s were corpses. Many famous individuals were famously photographed after their deaths, like the Clantons and the McClorys who died at the gunfight at the OK Corral. But it wasn't only the famous who found themselves as posthumous models. Regular people were also often photographed after death. And to give you an example of good old-fashioned nightmare fuel... This is an actual corpse photo from the 1800s. So, this girl on the far left is dead. And she's being photographed with the siblings. Corpse photography was very popular in the 19th century. because even then, I'd hope they were all dead by now. Others they'd all be vampires. Well done, bravo, bravo. All right. Oh, let's pause. But yes, oftentimes, even in the 19th century, this still the most common way to get a portrait of yourself was still largely through paintings, and a lot of people couldn't afford that. So the advent of photography made it a lot cheaper for portraits and family portraits to happen, and corpse photography was a big industry. Somewhere along the way, we decided it was incredibly morbid, and now we don't have corpse photography anymore. All right. A kazoo time redemption was also redeemed. So let's decide on a theme that I'm going to kazoo away. Let's just warm this whole thing up. All right, sounds good. Now I just gotta find a nice little theme to provide kazoo accompaniment with. Let's see. Out of the millions and millions of video game themes to choose from, which one shall I choose? So many possibilities. How about... Sonic the Hedgehog is always good for that. However, let's do a theme from one of my favorite games in recent memory. Open case. Really, Automod? Really? What the hell? The word creep creeped you out? Jesus, Automod. Thank you, Winged, for... The hell? All right. Here we go. is the main theme from the game Shovel Knight. So there you are, Steph. Ah. That is such an amazing game. It is the perfect blend of Nintendo style, NES style nostalgia, and oh, I love it so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Not you. You almost fell over. All right, where the hell was I? What happened before we all went completely, when this all became completely off the rails? All right. As we're, that was the Street Fighter remix. There we are. That's where I was. We were talking about dead people photography. Yes. I don't know how many of you out there know on YouTube the channel Ask a Mortician. Caitlin Doherty. She has an entire a great video on corpse photography. I think also, like, corpse photography also died out, forgive the expression, also died out with war photography as well, because, and you'll see this if you look at your art history, the Civil War, the American Civil War, was the first war to be photographed, and oftentimes newspapers would have, just these very grisly, gruesome images of shot up soldiers. And that helped to sort of sway opinion about the war. And I think, so because of the nature of how gruesome the photography is, and the images that made it to the press in the 1860s, and in later wars, America put the kibosh on. The federal government really put the kibosh on war photography, which is why I personally think we as a country have just become desensitized to it. Because you are not allowed to publish war photography. Because the government doesn't want its public to have a bad opinion of war. I'm willing to believe that we would feel a lot differently about bombing any country into oblivion if we actually would see the damage we're doing, but that's a whole nother rant. Like, last thing I'll say about war photography. So, I will never forget, I worked in the Walmart photo lab when I was 19. And somebody had dropped off a couple of rolls of film that I developed, and as I scanned these images, I realized that these were images of battle from Iraq. It was either Iraq or Afghanistan. I forget which. But They were bloody. They were. It was gruesome, and I will never forget those images. And I was reminded of it again when I took my history of photography in college. Just again talking about the history of war photography, and just the grisly images of bloodied battles, bloodied soldiers, dead soldiers, and just imagine how much negative opinion of war we would have if the federal government didn't ban the press from publishing what's really happening, like the actual human cost of old men's cockfighting. That's a good reading with the images on TV and the Vietnam War helped sway public opinion against. Yeah. Yep, I remember that image as well, Tiny Dragon. Oh, I saw that too. John. I saw more of that than, battle photography, but no. And I worked at Walmart, which means anytime anything, naughty happened, anything naughty happened, I'd have to slip in a note that said, we can't print these images because they contain bits. I would print them if my manager wasn't there because, all right, you've got me on another tangent. Okay, so I, even when I was 18, 19, just, we were not allowed to make prints of, people having sex. And I had this argument, my manager pulled out, the Walmart photo Bible, all the policies and procedures and things like that. And one of the things, under the FAQs in this policy book was, what images can and cannot be printed. So you couldn't print images of people having sex because, no nudity. This is a family store, blah, 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 blah. You can't print, anything lewd or anything containing nudity. But then the very next question in the FAQs was, can I print images that depict a live birth? And according to Walmart, you're allowed to print images of a live birth because that is an act of nature. It's a natural act. And I looked my manager dead in the face and said, how do you get to the birth? If the logic of we're allowed to print images of a live birth we are allowed to print them because it's a natural act, there's a natural act that takes place to get to the birth. What's wrong with photos of a stork? So whenever my manager wasn't around, if somebody dropped off a roll of film that depicted people engaging in various natural acts, if my manager wasn't there, I'd print them. I'd use the same logic. A birth is a natural act, so is sex. All right. Let's do some more dead things. Like that one. did. I just could not, like, the level of hypocrisy just astounded me. Just like the blatant gaps in logic. No logic, only blind obedience. Definitely, if the news from last night and today are any indication. Oh, no apology needed. No apology needed, my friend. Just don't be too salty. It's bad for your blood pressure. The American Heart Association will come after you if you know.
There's too much sodium in your diet.
I'll drink some water. Ah. Better pepper that salt. Oh. Oh, man. Coming to my stream with the frickin' puns. Ducking out a bit early. Have a good rest. Yes, thank you so much for stopping by, Icarus. You have a wonderful, wonderful night. And again, thank you for the pleasure of your company. Sorry. Don't be. This is a nice, warm, welcoming place. Pun away. So this particular cemetery that I'm editing images from, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see the results, sir. Just going to pretend I didn't see that, Tiny Dragon. Lordy. I am actually doing another shoot with that same model this Saturday, John. Different costume. Once again, my friend McKenna, she went to a LARP last weekend, and she made yet another outfit for it. So, there will be another photo shoot this Saturday. This will be in the studio. This will be right behind me. Different backdrop, though. Not using the blood red crimson one for this. Wouldn't look good with the outfit she's got. Nope, this will be another studio shoot right here in this room. It was originally supposed to be a location shoot, but the place that the location is going to be closed for a few months for repairs and renovations. So it'll be studio shoot instead. It just fine by me. It means I don't have to drive 45 minutes. But that will probably be next Tuesday's art stream. Will be that shoot. I have not done a stream on Picardo in a while, which I need to do because I have some more work that I want to edit, but it might wind up being an off-stream thing because I do need to prioritize the shoots from the people who have paid me. That's only fair. Speaking of Wing 41, if you're still there, obviously not right this second, but if there's any others on that Google Drive folder that you want me to work on, let me know. Because there's a few more in that shoot that are some of my personal favorites, but obviously as you have graciously hurled your income at me, did I already save this one? No, not yet. Getting me closer to the archival quality photo printer that I'm saving up money to purchase. Because it occurred to me recently that I've done a lot of work since I graduated college in 2015, and all of it exists digitally. I would like to at least have one physical print of the finished work that I have done in the last 7 years. Next one that I will work on is actually this one, because I actually really liked how it looked in the cemetery. As I said, this cemetery, the East Line Union Cemetery near me in Malta, New York, it houses, I keep saying houses, they're not houses, they're dead, contains the graves of about 20 or so Revolutionary War soldiers that lived locally. And this was one of them. The hell time is it anyway? Oh, I've still got time. I got at least another half hour. And again, this cemetery was still in active use. The oldest stones in here are from about 1790. Which for this part of New York is pretty old. Like, the further south in New York you go, the older the cemeteries become. You'll get into mid to early 1700s and even 1600s. But finding 1790s up by here, it's a pretty rare find. Do. Okay. No. That's a little much. See if we can lighten up that headstone a bit. Yes. My good friend, the dodge tool. Brighten it up some more. It's a bit better. Faithful companion. That's looking up. Dodge and burn tools. So much easier to do in Photoshop than it is in the darkroom. My goodness. Well, that means... Yeah, I gathered eventually. Now we'll darken that. We'll darken the burn tool. So this little twig here got caught in the line of fire, so we're gonna bring that back. Oh, doing dodging and burning in the dark room. Oh man. It's not an exercise in futility, but it is most certainly an exercise in frustration and a lot of wasted, expensive photo paper. Because photo supplies, art supplies, they ain't cheap. And for the college I went to, you know, private art college, you think they would have given us, some sort of like stipend to get art supplies with, but no. No. We're just gonna charge you $900 a credit and be on your way, and lab fees on top of all that. There we are. We are bringing our little twig friend here back. There we are. That's better. Nice. Beep. Because I like to slap some gradients. Give them a little bit of a sort of a vignette look. Gives me a nice cheap vignette effect without having to actually buy the specific lens to give me that effect. It's on the cheap, you see. Is it on that? Okay, yes, we'll do this one. Because this amused the hell out of me. Yeah, it was that one. This amused the crap out of me. This is in another cemetery. It's, again, another about 5-10 minutes up the road. Not as old. So crop that. This one just gave me a chuckle. So after this, my next stream will be on Friday evening at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, in which I will be starting a playthrough of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, which is celebrating its 30th anniversary of the North American release this year. It came out in 1992. It's your feel old moment of the day. Zelda was a series that I came into late. Like, my first Zelda game was Ocarina of Time for the N64. And I didn't play A Link to the Past until I was in my 20s. And I had downloaded it for Virtual Console on the Wii. And I loved it. Actually, when I was at PAX East, I did purchase. I went to a Zelda panel, and that Zelda panel was discussing the 36th anniversary of the series as a whole. So this panel was just 36 awesome Zelda memories from the entire series. And there were a lot of moments from The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, which initially came out on the Wii U and was then redone and remastered for the Switch. So immediately after that panel let out, I went and bought The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword for the Switch, because in the Zelda chronology, Skyward Sword is the first game. In the Zelda chronology, Skyward Sword is the first game in the plot. Link to the Past may be all-time favorite game. I played it so much on Super Nintendo. I mean, when I played it in my 20s, I was just blown away by how much fun it is, and also how inspirational that game was for the rest of the series to come after it. So many story beats and tropes from the Legend of Zelda series originate in A Link to the Past. Played the early versions on the Virtual Console, but I cannot deal with 3D. I get that. I feel the same way about Sonic the Hedgehog, Suez King. Like, I love the old Sega Genesis Sonic games, but as soon as it made the jump to 3D, I'm like, nope, that's it, I'm out. I am back with tea! Ooh. Why am I getting an encoder overloaded message, OBS? What is wrong with you? Why are you suddenly having problems with my webcam? Weird. Oh. Well, let me close some of you. Maybe that'll help. I can only imagine, I can only suspect that Windows is doing something in the background, probably downloading some stupid Windows update, and it's giving OBS some grief. It's delightful just to sort of when I saw this in one of our local cemeteries, I it gave me a chuckle. So I'm like, can I do this in such a way? Yes. Oh yeah, Windows is definitely doing something in the background without me knowing about it. Because even Photoshop is slowing down for me. The hell are you doing? What are you downloading without me knowing about it? We've got some dust and scratches to take care of, so let's do that. I do. I love my scanner, but man, whenever I scan black and white film, despite me with wearing the lint, the lint-free gloves and it's still like, nope. Because most scanners that have the capability of scanning color film have a bit of technology in them called digital ice, which is image correction and enhancement, which is a godsend for color film because it will automatically fill in any sort of dust and scratches on color film by using the information that's around that particular spot on the negative. You can't do that with black and white. Because the image correction relies on color information so that the AI, while it's scanning, can make its best educated guess about how to fill in that particular bit of dust or scratch on the negative. Yeah, it's not giving me that grief. OBS is not giving me that encoder overloaded message anymore, so okay. That album ended. So how much time do we have left? 10 minutes. So let's pull up one more. Get some background music floating around. How about... Oh, yes. How about you? I like you. Where are you? There you are. Yeah. Yep, you both got it. Oops. I think I have time to work on one more before we do the recap. So the last one I will close with is this one. Yep, nope, OBS is giving me that encoder overloaded warning again. I'll have to see what the hell's going on with that. Yeah, yes. More than 10 times if you want the additional post-game stuff. Because there's more story after you've done the main bit. The game is amazing. If you are... It is a roguelite, which means you're gonna die a lot. The game can be... Not can be, is. Can be frustrating. Actually, do I want to end with that image? Let me just take a look at Adobe Bridge. I think I'm gonna switch up. Line Union. Nope. And I just love that they made it so that you could pet one of the heads. And that was apparently incredibly difficult. And I think I might be calling that one done pretty soon. Whee! Actually, that's what I think I might wanted to do. Make it a little lighter. Yeah, so I think that actually works better. All right, my friends. We're just about reaching the end of the stream, which means I get to do a recap and show you all the things that we worked on tonight. So, let us do that. Let's do just that. All right. So, from this, this was the role that I developed live on stream last Saturday. So here's what we did off of that. We did a few flavors of this image of Ryan, being Ryan, being a very happy fellow. And then we did again, happy fellow over here. And then we did the amusing one. And then the one I finished up with. And then he's so excited to get his vaccine, right? Right? Oh, yes. Totally excited. And then on the second role that I developed this weekend, off stream, we did that one. And that one. That is a Revolutionary War burial. And then that one. So yeah, not a bad evening's work. Not a bad evening's work overall, I would say. So, the rest of my stream schedule for the week will be as follows. So this Friday, again, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I will begin my playthrough of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. So we're going back to Super Nintendo for this one. And that'll wrap up my week. And then I'm doing a photo shoot on Saturday, which means that a week from today, that'll be the next photo art stream. So I'll be editing images from that shoot. I'm looking forward to it. So again, I am Eroivis, but I am known professionally as Brian J. French. If you want to check out more of my art, the link just popped up in the chat, brianjfrench.card.co. That's my link page. So that contains the links to my website, Vero, Patreon, Redbubble store, Twitter, all the places where you can find me and my art on the internet. So again, thank you so very much for spending some of your Tuesday evening with me. I always enjoy having the pleasure of your company. So thank you so very much. Let's see if I can bring the party somewhere else. I can bring you all over. Let's see. Ursa Crafta, all right. I don't know why I haven't followed Ursa Crafta, but that's we're gonna fix that right now. So let's do the thing. All right, so let's do it. All right. Again, thank you so much for spending some of your thank you for spending some of your Tuesday evening with me. Always appreciate the pleasure of your company. And as I always say, stay healthy, stay safe, go get vaccinated, wear your goddamn masks. Stay safe out there. Good night, and joy be with you all, everyone. See you Friday night. Be well.